They talking business. They talking business. It's raw and rare. Come on and get this. 3 strong black women. No, they didn't. They talking.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Shelly Bell Show. I'm Shelly, Omi Lade Bell, but you can call me Omi. And I'm here with my co-hosts, Takia Ross and Sherelle Duncan. Today, wait, what's up, y'all?
Yo.
Hey, gotta check in. So today, I love this topic because we're going to talk about how family be tripping. And this is part 1 because we realize this is such a big topic. So today will be part 1. Next Sunday will be part 2. It's so many things involved with family and business. And we know a lot of our listeners, we've heard from you about, when we talk about this topic of feeling supported and how family works and that kind of thing. So we go jump into it. I'm gonna kick it off with a stat. All right. So the Bank of America Small Business Report says that 53% of entrepreneurs rely on family to fill important business roles, and 38% of small business owners and entrepreneurs rely on family for financial gifts. Mm-hmm. What were some, I know with me, so I'll tell anybody, my mom was my first investor. Mm-hmm. And she took her retirement money to give me the capital that I used to build my print shop, which is the company I had before Black Girl Ventures.
That's so dope.
It is.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
I used my tax returns to buy my own machines. Mm-hmm. And my mom gave me about $10,000.
Wow.
And then she rocked with me. So sweat equity wise, she gave me so much time. But my mom, she always whatever I come up with, I'd be like, Mom. Y'all know how I talk to y'all.
Yes.
So you know how I talk to my mom as well in terms of getting these ideas out there. I'm like, Mom, you know what we should do? I'm gonna build this tent in my living room. She like, okay, so all right, girl, what you need to do? You need me to do something? Where's it gonna be at?
Yes.
What kind of experiences have y'all had, especially starting a business, Sherelle?
So when I started The Good Thick, I didn't know that I was starting The Good Thick. I just literally left my job, and I didn't have any money saved up. I ain't have anything. I just left my job. I was working paycheck to paycheck, but I just knew that I could not work for that lady anymore. I could not work for her anymore. I could not service that company anymore. So I just left. And when I left, I was actually going through, I was in, an unhealthy relationship with my child's father, and so I know that I needed to get out of the relationship, and I also needed a place to stay. Like I told y'all, I ain't have no money. So my family, we have a group chat. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, 3 girls, 3 boys. I have a set of twin sisters and 3 brothers. And so I put in a group chat.
I love how you light up when you say that.
I love my family. I love my brothers and my sisters so much. We're really, really close. All of us are 14 or 16 months apart. My mother and father was not playing. Back to back. And so I put in a group chat hey, I just quit my job. I'm also about to move out away from Gabby's dad. And I don't know what I'm gonna do, And so my brother, he had a 1-bedroom with a den, and the den didn't have a door. And he was like, well, y'all can come stay with me. And my brother also, his daughter and Gabby are the same age. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, you can come stay with me. And around that time, my brother and my niece's mom she was not letting him see my niece. So I knew that would be helpful for him to have my daughter, to have Gabby there, to just, love on her, because he was really wanting to see his daughter. And so we went to live with him, and he welcomed us with open arms. The apartment, we loved it. To this day, that was me and Gabby's favorite place to stay. We loved that apartment. I still love that apartment. All of us love that apartment. So anyway, we went to live with him, and my brother really, really looked out for me. And so that was around the time I was on my fitness journey. And that's when I decided, all right, I'm going to post this, post on Instagram telling people that I'm doing a fit camp, and in the park. That's when I told y'all that story. And when I did it, it blew up. And so I was like, oh, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I've been hashtagging The Good Thick on Instagram my whole journey. So I'm going to call this The Good Thick. And I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. So I was like, well, I'm about to start this. And this is about to be what it is. And so I started, I went to get certified. I didn't pass because I knew all the physical stuff, but the actual book stuff, I was like, what the hell? I'm supposed to know this? I'm supposed to know what part of the body this is? This muscle bones is way too much. This is not something that I want to do. But anyway, so I studied again. I went back. I got certified, and I enjoyed learning about the body so much that I started to learn other ways of exercise, Pilates, yoga, all of those things. And so I got certified in those things. And then my brother was there to help me, to just house me and my daughter, so that I can start the business. So I didn't have to pay any bills at the beginning. And so that's how it really got started, with him just being there to help me. And my youngest brother gave me $50 so that I can pay and get my website. To this day, he like, where's my return of investment? Like, I gave you $50. He gave me $50. I bought the domain, and I got the free website with it. And that's how I started putting up my packages on my fitness and everything. So my youngest brother and then my mother's oldest son, which is my brother also, but they helped me to really, my brother housed me, and my other brother helped me to just create a platform so people can go to see what I was doing.
That's awesome. We're going to get into more of this right after the break. I love that, because when we think about support and playing a role, right? This is not about like what role in your business, like in terms of like they're gonna go be the web designer, but to be that person's like, look, I got this. Do what you can do, take what you can take, go where you can go. And as underrepresented founders, Black and brown women founders in general, those are struggles. But that's so much light in that story. I love it.
He was
so
only
much.
17 and gave me that. He was working at Giant and gave me his last $50.
He said, I got that 50 on.
He was like, what you need, sis? I got you.
And
And he gave me $50. And to this day, he said by this time, I owe him $500,000.
I can see that. I can see that. Residuals.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We're going to come back and continue on this topic of family be tripping. And I guess in that, family be supporting, But we're gonna get into, we know we got entrepreneurs out there to deal with lots of levels of how to interact with family and business. You're listening to the Shelly Bell Show. I'm Shelly Omilade Bell, here with my co-host
Sherelle Duncan
and Takia Ross.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Shelly Bell Show. I'm Shelly Omilade Bell. I like saying that.
You do.
You should say it like that.
Shelly
Omilade.
Hey. Hold on with a little breath.
Okay.
I'm Shelly. Okay.
We was ready.
No, y'all ain't ready. I'm reserving it.
This is noon. This is noon on a Sunday.
It is early. The liquor store
it's 5
open.
o'clock somewhere though.
Or 10
Is the liquor
p.m.
store open?
Or 10 p.m.
So I'm just saying.
Or 1 a.m.
You see
Hey.
that? Okay. So
You're listening to the Shelly Bell Show. We love to have fun here. I'm Shelly Omilade Bell with my co-host.
Hey, Sherelle Duncan.
And Takia Ross.
All right, so in today's segment, we're talking about how family be tripping. Family be supporting, but also family do be tripping. And I guess family be looking at us like we be tripping.
Yes.
So, like, what? You want to start a business? You about to jump out there. You about to do what? I know, Takia, your story is an interesting one. Would love to tell the people about it.
Okay, so this journey has been full of the ups and the downs. And, I started and, I don't talk about the beginning, but I started and I will talk about what I had. I'll say it like that. So when I started, I'm a mom. We're all moms. I'm a mom of 3 and I had a home, I had a car, you know what I mean? Fully furnished, all of the trappings of life. And I say trappings, like all of the things they say that you're supposed to have at my age, right? 30 something, you should have a good government job with benefits and a house and a car. And I had all of those things. And I got into business and I decided to leave my job, kind of like Sherelle. I left my job and I remember March 15th, 2017, and I had saved up I think it was something like $20,000. Like I had saved up that much money, and I was like, I'm quitting, I'm leaving, I'm gonna be a full-time entrepreneur. Within 2 years of me, not even within 2 years, within a year or so of me saving that money and leaving my job, I had lost everything. Wow. So I had lost, my home, I lost my car. It just seemed like I was in a season of losing, like I was losing everything. And I ended up having to move back home with my mother in my mother's basement. And I can remember that feeling of defeat. Like, my God, like I'm defeated. And it was certain things like that you say to your family when you're going through those seasons of defeat. Like you don't let them know that you're failing. You know what I mean? So you kind of make it sound good. Like, so I was telling everybody, I'm just going to move back home and help my mother, pay off her mortgage, I'm going to move back home because, the kids and I need help with my kids. So my mother's going to help me with my kids. And, just all of the things that you say, when you almost 40 and you move in your mother basement, you know what I mean? Like you got to say, I mean, it was all of the things. And like, I'm really good at compartmentalizing and putting things where they need to be. So I, tuck that over in, okay, that's something that I'm going through. But one of the things that I don't ever really talk about is the effect that it had on my relationship with my children's fathers, with my parent partners. Like, because I was in a tumultuous relationship with, and I think business owners need to remember, it's not just, your family doesn't just consist of your biological family, the family you were born into. It's all of the other people that you bring into your family. So my children's fathers are a part of that, right? So I can remember just trying to hide as much of this process because I didn't want him to come and take my son. Like that's all I kept thinking. Like if I could just just still look like I'm winning, still show up like I'm everything is okay. If I could still do this, then he won't come and he won't take my son. And so we made it, but my mother's basement flooded and I lost everything. It was nowhere else for me to go. So I moved into my studio space. And when I moved into my studio space, I was not only hiding that from my family, not that I didn't have anywhere to go. See, I want people to don't think about it like we think about people being homeless or unstably housed because they don't have anywhere to go. It's the fear of telling somebody, that embarrassment, that like, oh my God, I'm home, like I'm homeless. And then knowing again, if I say this out loud, he's gonna come and take my son. And this is the things that I know I was dealing with, but on social media and in the world, I was putting out there. I mean, I was going to galas and I was winning pitch competitions and writing books and I looked pretty and everything, but it was like a mask. Like I was trying to hide that part. And my family, I have the best family in the world, and I could have moved into any home and said, I need help. But it was just kind of like, I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to feel like I had failed at this because people was like, well, why you leave your job? Like, go back to work, go back to work. And I'm just like, that's not, I don't want to go back. Like, you know what I mean? I will, but I don't want to. And then I had to think about how were my kids affected by this? Like my children were sleeping on a blow up mattress in my studio that we had to hide every morning at 7:00. You know what I mean? So that, we taking bird baths like that is, and we're trying to hide it from the school and from people and from, like my mom and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm good. Everything is great, but it wasn't.
But have you had any conversations with your children about it now? And I'm asking that really out of just like my own experience because I didn't leave my job. My job's kicked me out. It's like, I'm sick of your shenanigans. You always want to change something. I was trying to make something better. You are out of here. Right? So I got laid off twice. And I was engaged to Skylar's father at the time. I also have 3 children. And I had been a single mom, for majority, for all of them. I was a single mom. I was engaged to Skylar's father, and I told him, I was like, hey, you know what? I want to start a business, or, I want to get a job in art because I was doing performance poetry. And after I got laid off from the first job, I just decided to do performance poetry for a year. I was pregnant with Skylar. I just really lived my life as a full-time artist. I had, and I actually do not talk about this often. I had Section 8, and things that people don't know about Section 8 is you can really live anywhere you want to as long as the person accepts it. So it's not that we necessarily live in a terrible place or anything like that, but I had help with my rent and things like that because of Section 8. And then other things, I had this, my partner at the time, where we were going half on different things based off of money I was bringing in, money he was bringing in. And so I go, I'm like, hey, I want to start a business. He's like, nah, I don't think you should do that. I don't think it's going to be stable enough. I don't think, I think you should get a regular job. So I called up some friends and went and got a job, great boss, great money. But one day my boss called me in and he was like, look, I think you're amazing, but this is not for you. I was doing patent search work at the PTO. It was a small patent search firm. And I was doing patent searching because, like I told you, I lived a lot of lives. So in the previous life, I used to work for the Patent and Trademark Office as a patent examiner.
Every day I found out something new. Something new.
Got this job, great boss, but he's like, yo, this ain't it. He gave me a great package, but I was devastated. I went home and I did the only thing that a person that has lost 2 jobs could possibly do. I called California Psychics.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were about to say eat chicken. That's what I would have did. Oh, that's mine. I would have did that. She said California Psychics.
Y'all are so wild.
I needed some help. Somebody need to call somebody.
She was hungry. No, but she said I did what anybody would do.
The only thing. Call on the spirits.
Yeah.
Where they at?
I wasn't thinking about California.
Oh, no, I thought it was chicken because I thought it was.
They need to give me a brand deal.
Yes.
Because I was like, listen, somebody, I don't know what it's doing. I don't know. And the lady was like, she told me, she said, look, when you find a thing that you want to do, the money will come and you're not going to be with that guy. In 2 months, my entire life flipped upside down. I got disengaged, unengaged, whatever the word, separated. And I honestly think I was just in fight or flight mode. I threw everything out of my living room. I repainted the walls. I started building stuff. I'm like, I'm going to start a business. What do I got? What do I know how to do? I started pulling out every stop. I was doing, and during that time of like building business, I was substitute teaching. I was writing technical papers for like contractors, for government contractors. I was doing technical writing. I was writing people's papers for school.
Whatever you got to do.
Whatever I had to do. I was still doing performance poetry, still doing events. I was just making the capital that I could possibly make. All the while, my children, right, are like also watching this process. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was making sure I was doing things with them. Like, we're going to have a once a month, family dinner out. We're going to like eat dinner together every night because that's how I grew up. We ate dinner together every night. So we're going to do that. We're going to, and I'm thinking that I'm doing all of these things, right? So my oldest son was playing basketball. And honestly, even when I was working more than one job. I couldn't go to all of his games. And that's something that hit him deeply. That later in life, he brought up and remembered.
Right.
My middle son, but for him, I was like, I want to be home as much as possible. So I made sure I went to every play he had. I was there. He's a theater kid. He's 19. And I was, trying to be at all the things for him. But for him, that's not what he needed. So while my older son needed can you show up at my public events, games, whatever, my middle son was needing, can you be more emotionally available?
Right.
And I was an empty cup.
Yeah, you ain't had nothing
I
to
had
give.
no emotions.
You had nothing.
And I think, again, I had a 1-year-old, and at this time, I think maybe they were like 12 and 15, 12 and 13, 12 and 14, something like that, my other 2 kids. like there's a picture of me that I share on social media from time to time where I'm like cutting wood with Skylar literally on my shoulder. And like I'm cutting wood with the other hand because I was building stuff. I was building my own furniture. I built a tent in my home and I rented it out on Airbnb. Everybody thought I was crazy. They was like, she done gone. Something is wrong with her now.
Don't worry about it.
A tent.
Don't worry about that.
You get wood.
They don't even.
It was like, you get wood from Lowe's.
I wish they could see the face you just made because you just made a worried mother's face.
Is that
like you were worried about your own children?
Yeah, they were like, we were riding around looking for pallets. I was building pallet furniture. They was like, I think she done lost it. I don't know what my family was talking about. Now my family's always been, supportive, that kind of thing. But they
probably mumbled under their breath.
They
probably mumbled under their breath a little bit. They probably was just like, I don't know what is happening.
And not one time,
like, my God, we gonna support you though, girl. Go ahead and build that.
Not one time did I think it wouldn't work. Not one. When I went to get the wood from Lowe's, Home Depot. I think it was Home Depot. They was like, ma'am, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to learn how to drill. Can you show me how to drill?
Try to learn
Which
how
drill
to drill
is the drill that drills? Okay, because I need one of them.
Not even, my God.
And they was like, man, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to build this tent in my living room and I'm going to rent it out on Airbnb. And they're like, man, I don't think anybody's going to sleep in your living room.
Mind your business.
I didn't ask you that.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I said, teach me how to drill.
One of these drills.
I just want to know, how did your mind put that together?
Okay, you want to?
I really want to know.
We got to go to a break in a minute.
Tell us when we come back, because I need to know. I'm serious.
You need to know how your mind works.
In your living room and rent it out on Airbnb.
Yeah. But you know what? That's when you don't give a shit. That's when you just
you're
went at a certain point. You just let it go. That's when you say, I'm gonna do something, Jesus. That's when you just,
you know what?
Whatever you say, a tent.
I'm gonna run it out. People gonna do it.
Okay, now let me tell you what happened. So there used to be like 3 large poetry festivals that happen: individual poetry slams, which is I call IWIPs, and then the team poetry slams, and an international one. Oh no, a women's one. They don't do them the same anymore, but back then I was heavily in the poetry community and the organizer, and people knew me. Like I was doing my thing, and so I was with the co-organizer for bringing the individual poetry slam to DC, and it's a national event, and so like people come from everywhere. It's a big deal, and our hotel block closed early, and I said, shoot, I got this whole living room with nothing in it. What could I do with it? And I said, you know what? I can build some tents and put them in here and let people rent them out, right? Because this is like in the art world, people do.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense in the art world. Like people will come together to do multiple kinds of things,
I just
and commune in multiple kinds of ways.
I didn't see tents.
You didn't see
I did. Like it didn't register. Like I thought, like. Oh, bunk beds. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't see, but go ahead because you
look at her face. Like, why would you do
bunk beds? I get it, but
here's more logic. Here's more logic. Okay, so first I'm like, boom, I got this empty living room. I'm going to, rent some stuff out, let some folks go to sleep, and they'll pay me, right? But I didn't get it done in time for the actual event. So I said, okay, but I'm not going to give up on this because searching through Pinterest, I saw that the teepees was starting to hit them. Like teepees had not hit the market yet. Like now you can go buy a teepee anywhere for a kid. That wasn't the case. It wasn't out like that yet. So I saw these teepees for kids starting to hit Pinterest. But then there was no teepees for adults. So I said, I'm going to build that tent. Like I'm going to go build this one and see what happens, right? And then, so really, I was like, okay, boom, let's do it. So here's more thought process. I have been a traveling artist. As a woman, as a man, I've seen men say from the stage, I need somewhere to stay tonight. And women are like, and then they stay with them. I'm a woman traveling artist. I can't do that. That's not safe, number one. Number two, I'm a single parent with no available rooms. I can't make extra money off of Airbnb. So my thought was, okay, I can do this. And one, it could be something I could franchise out to women to create more safe spaces for women to come and stay while they're traveling, whether it be work, whatever those things are. 2, if you're a single parent, or maybe you're single in general, or you don't have enough room, you can build something that you can create something in your living room where you can make extra money, have people come and stay. Like, I had a lot of logic behind why I was doing it.
It makes sense.
It does make sense, but I don't think our brains would go to 10.
Go there. That's all we were saying. Yeah. That's all it was. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Yes. But I just didn't go there. Yeah. That wasn't my first go.
That's wild.
I got it.
That's wild.
So, I mean, but guess what? That joint worked.
For real?
And I'll be honest with you. After that worked, I said I could make anything work.
Yeah.
What y'all want to do?
That's all you need is that one. You just need that one thing. That one thing to work. You can do anything. That one thing.
And you get to determine what work means. I mean, for me, we had multiple people who wanted to stay. I let one woman come and stay. And then I quickly found out
that you didn't want.
I don't want people sleeping in my living room.
That's not what I'm doing. I looked at her and saw it in her face.
Why was I thinking that? That's not a business I want to start.
I looked over there and I said, that didn't work out. It didn't work.
Hold on. She said, I don't want people sleeping in my living room in a tent.
Like it wasn't her. That's okay. She found it.
Tell me to do that. Who told me to do that?
You told you to do that
so much. I really do.
But interestingly enough, another woman entrepreneur who was homeless, I let her stay in that tent. She stayed in that tent for about 6 months to a year almost.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's how my grandma was like, look, you hungry? You feed them. People need somewhere to stay. You let people stay.
Wow.
My grandmother is all about taking care of people and building Black Girl Ventures. And my family is that way in general. Like, we were like that. Building Black Girl Ventures was me recreating my family.
Wow.
That's really what it was. Yeah. The community piece of that. So, we'll jump into this topic a little bit more. This is such a fun. I actually really enjoy this.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
It's a fun topic to tell these stories about our family. Yeah. But we ain't done yet.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
No. We ain't nowhere near done yet.
It ain't all pretty. It ain't all pretty.
It ain't all pretty. So we gave y'all nice fluff to ride in on. Yeah. And then, we'll end with fluff, but we'll give you nice fluff to ride in on, give you a bit of a gut punch, and then we'll
wrap it up.
Roller coaster.
That's right. Roller coaster ride on the Shelly Bell Show. So make sure you come back. We're going to go to break. This is the Shelly Bell Show. I'm Shelly Omilade Bell here with my co-host
Sherelle Duncan
and Takia Ross.
We'll be right back. Show. I'm Shelly Omilade Bell here with my co-host
Sherelle Duncan
and Takia Ross.
Today we are talking about how family be tripping.
Yes.
We covered a couple avenues, and now for my next trick.
Not for the next.
No, but you know what?
My God.
I'm throwing in the towel right now.
No, don't do it. Don't go. Wait. Relationships. Okay, so I talked a little bit about getting disengaged, unengaged, separated, out of here.
All of the
deuces,
things.
Whatever the case is. Wherever it may lie. But Sherelle, I know you and your husband, so y'all hear us say Black, that's because
it's my husband.
is one of his nicknames is. But tell us a little bit about, I know y'all do a lot of business together, like you have Forever Duncan, your marriage went viral, that kicked off some other things, but what is that like relationship wise, like in terms of
it has always been very good, very refreshing. We are so good together. We work so well together until we had the baby. I had the baby last year, and things took a turn in our marriage. It was the hardest thing one of the hardest things that I've ever went through is experiencing disconnect in my marriage with my best friend. Like, because Black and I are not just like husband and wife. Like, we truly are like really, really good friends. Like, we started off with, like, as really good friends. And so of course, when I had the baby, the pandemic happened. Right when the pandemic happened, I decided to start the Good Thick back up, because when we got married, I just literally put the Good Thick to the side, focused solely on Forever Dunkin', focused on traveling. We traveled a lot. We did a lot of relationship conferences. We just got thrown to the fire. Like, we didn't even know what was happening. We started getting booked all over the place. Like, and a bunch of churches wanted us to come and speak about marriage, and we were newly married, you know what I mean? But our story was so appealing to them that we would come and do that, and it was so good to do that with him. It was very refreshing until like I said, I had the baby, and our signals got crossed. It just, something happened in our marriage that we both were not just. We didn't even see it coming. I started the Good Thick back up. And when I started the Good Thick back up, I started to make really good money to help us dig out of a financial hole that we were in. Not because we didn't want to work, not because he wasn't working, but because I got pregnant. I couldn't function the way that I would normally function. So he had to go back out and get a job and work for somebody. And now we're not working together anymore. He's working in a place where he doesn't want to be. You know, he's just unhappy. Sorry. Extremely unhappy. I'm pregnant, driving him to the train station, because now we only have one van that he was able to purchase that was just a terrible. It was breaking down all this on the time. I had to wake up early in the morning being really sick, drive him to the train station. He didn't want to leave me home with no car. So it was either I wake up early and deal with throwing up the whole way, taking him to the train station, or he feels uncomfortable leaving me home with no car. So just him having to work. And now we're no longer entrepreneurs, right? Physically, we're no longer entrepreneurs. So that right there is an emotional trauma for us both, because at heart, we're entrepreneurs. Right. We're creators. And so for him to have to go and work for pennies just to provide for us, and to do that was a lot, right? So it really started before I had the baby. I started the Good Thick back, digging us out of a hole, and now we're no longer working together. He's still at a job. I'm doing the Good Thick, and I'm flourishing in the Good Thick, right? And I'm thinking, oh, this is such a great thing, and we're not struggling with money, and we're paying the bills, and all of this is happening. But he's very unhappy because now Forever Dunkin' is just not happening anymore. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. All right.
So for 3 years, Forever Dunkin' was our source of income, and the way that we just bonded, and the way that we made our money and all this other stuff. And so now that's not happening. And he loves Forever Dunkin' so much. He loves what we do with Forever Dunkin'. We both love it so much. And so now that's not happening anymore. So now it's like, I don't have my business partner anymore. And also I'm going through stuff with postpartum. And so we're not connecting. We're not talking. We're not communicating. We're irritated with each other for we don't know why, and I have trauma that is coming up inside of me, and he is just so unhappy, and him being unhappy makes me unhappy because I can feel his energy, and I love the shit out of him. So when he's not okay, of course, now I'm not okay, but I have to show up because now I have a business that is flourishing. And so it was really hard in our marriage. We could not get it right. We could not get it right for months. And that happened. It started last year, but this year is the year where it got really bad. We stopped talking. We're always arguing. Like, I don't want to look at him. He don't want to look at me. We don't want to touch each other. Now, when we do have sex, it's like we're just having sex because we're supposed to have sex, not because we really, really enjoy having sex with one another. And it's just like business for me is taking off. And I can only imagine what that did to him. Yeah. And now, because now Forever Dunkin' is on the back burner. I'm not talking about the play anymore. I'm not talking about anything, because in my mind I'm thinking we gotta get this money. We got bills. I don't want to have to struggle like we did when I was pregnant. We need a new car. We can't do this van, all of this stuff. So it was just so hard, y'all. And
what was it? What was the turning point? Because like there's these, I think we all experience like as entrepreneurs where there's these dips, and then the people around us are dipping too.
Yeah.
Right? And exactly what you're describing, like everybody's dipping.
Yeah.
Like you dipping, everybody's dipping. But what I really appreciate and thank you for sharing is that like then you had to turn the point where things may have been going up.
Yes.
And then it was like, oh wait, but I can't go that up without you.
Yeah.
What? And I know now y'all in such a better place.
Yes,
so
we
like,
are in a better place.
What do you think was some of the things, but what were some of the things that like helped y'all work together to turn it around? Like what kind of elements do you think people can use to be like, if somebody's in the same place that y'all were?
I know for me, and in my marriage, as for me and my marriage,
we gonna
serve the Lord. That's true too. But I know if I don't change the trajectory of what's going on and I don't change the energy, it's not going to be okay. Right. And so I realized that he was doing things that I was being triggered by. And I had to realize like, he is not doing this to hurt me. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. I was ready to be like, I'm gone. And I don't even know why I was feeling like that. Cause I can't imagine my life without him. And at any capacity, right? And so I had one day, I'll never forget, one of my friends told me that she had separated from her husband. And this is crazy, y'all. Psychologically, I'm thinking, it's over for me and Black. If they separating, it's over for us. So now I'm making it okay in my mind, right? I'm making it okay. Like, I don't have to fight for this no more. You know what I'm saying? And then one day, I went to lunch with her. And when I walked up, she had her wedding ring on. And I ain't say anything. And she was like, hey, girl, I miss you so much. We talking. And she was like, I have to tell you something. We're back together. He moved back in the house. And I just started crying so bad. And I was just like, oh, my God. And before I left out the house, me and Black were like just going at it. Like it was terrible, right? No, you picked the baby up. I already had plans. And it was just terrible. I went home and I was like, after I had lunch with her, I was in the car and I called him and I was like, hey. And he was like, hey, whenever he say, hey, what's up? He not really feeling me. He not feeling me at all. If he say, hey, what's up? He not feeling me. So when he said that, I was like, I need to talk to you about something. Do you have some time? And he was like, what's up? But I couldn't do it over the phone. I said, you know what? I'm on my way home. I'll talk to you when I get home. I walked in the house. I walked upstairs. He was sitting on the couch and he looked at me and then I looked at him and I said, I apologize. And we both just started crying so bad, like really, really, really bad, like so bad. And I felt a release and I was just like, I apologize. And he was like, I needed that. And that was the end of the conversation, right? The end of the conversation. After that, 2 days later, we had a 5-hour conversation. It was like 5 hours and we were both crying, but we were having a compassionate, caring conversation. Now, you did this to me and this is how I feel. And you did this and this and this and this and this. And it was no finger pointing. It was like, I love you. And I am deeply saddened about how I treated you, how I thought about you, how I didn't think about you, how I disrespected you, how I didn't honor you, how I didn't just see you, how I didn't hear you. And I am owning my shit because I had fault in this too, because I was in my heart and in my mind, I was ready to give up. And I had to let him know. But he was throughout the entire thing. Black was never giving up. He just was tired. He was tired. He was stressed. He was angry. He was enraged. He was sad. He was embarrassed. His pride, his ego. He wanted his wife back. He wanted his business partner back. He wanted the success of Forever Dunkin' back. He wanted his own identity at the same time. He wanted to know, how do I function without her as an entrepreneur on my own, not as a hip hop artist? How do I move in this world now that I have this woman in my life, this my wife? How do I move in this world now without her being my business partner? How do I do that? And so when I started to understand that, when I started to just drop all of my shit and say, okay, listen and hear him. This is not about your feelings. Yes, your business is flourishing, but if your business is flourishing, everybody, you and him are flourishing, period. And so I just had to explain those things to him, and we brought it full circle. We went to counseling, we talked, and that 5-hour conversation, we just made a vow that we'll always see each other, we'll always respect each other, we'll always hear each other, we'll have compassion, we'll protect each other, and we'll surrender to the spirit when the spirit tells us, you gotta slow down, because this is not it for y'all. This is not, y'all are gonna be together forever. This is it for y'all. This is it. And we are so good with us being it for each other, and we just had to remind ourselves of that.
Wow.
That was a lie.
Thank you so
That was
much
a whole lie. I was on that
sharing
roller
that.
coaster. I was on that, girl. I was fighting with y'all. You ain't see me. I was like, oh,
You was like this. You had your
I had
hands
to close my hands like, girl, we gotta fight, girl.
You know, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think what's interesting about it to me, not your story specifically, but just interesting about the relationship with entrepreneurship versus the relationship with partners.
Yeah.
Is I have never been thinking about giving up on entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I don't care how many customers were terrible. I don't care how many, I don't care how many days I had to stay up. There's always, and I mean, similar to like where y'all got to, this is like this little glimmer of light that's like, I could do, like, people gonna get mad, not mad, but I'm saying like, yeah, okay, customers might be not like something. Yeah, all the systems ain't go all the time, but like this right here. And I think for me, entrepreneurship actually became one of the most foolproof relationships in my life. Mm-hmm. Therefore, it was not a relationship I have ever been willing to compromise for a partner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, I think that's where we get into trouble. Mm-hmm. Because I think that when you get into a relationship with entrepreneurship, right? That, I'm gonna be honest, that's a one-sided relationship, right? Entrepreneurship works as hard as you work, right? So if you're working, you know what I mean, your business in all the ways that you can work your business there will be fruit, right? Yeah. But in a relationship, there's another person. There are other feelings. There are other thoughts. There are other goals and other dreams. And, and I know that a lot of relationships that I have had have suffered because of my relationship with entrepreneurship. Yes. And a lot of the relationships I've had with people who I love the most have been damaged, right? Because I chose entrepreneurship. I choose it every day. Yeah. And so when you choose it in the way that we choose it, right? Fully, wholly, that means that I'm gonna miss your birthday, your bridal shower, your wedding. You know what I mean? I'm gonna miss a birth,
your grand opening of your store.
I'm missing all kinds of stuff. And some of those relationships, like we don't take into consideration what our absence does to the people who love us the most, even if they understand why. You know what I mean? But it's just, sometimes they just be wanting, and I know I've screamed out, but it's me. Yeah. But it's me though. You know what I mean? Like, it's me. Like, I know why you ain't go over to hers, but this is mine. Like, it's hard. That's a hard thing.
It is.
Yeah, I think what you're speaking to also speaks to the guilt that we build up inside of us for time we didn't spend with our children. Yes. Time we didn't spend finding a partner. Before you even get into a relationship, like, I think I had to say to myself, hey girl, you ain't been looking for nobody. Like, you ain't really been looking for, you have not really been opening up the space for anybody to enter your life. Like,
that's true.
You have not, and so, like, as much as I might watch all the, videos, like the Forever Duck videos, or,
and be crying.
And be like, oh, that's so good. One day I'm going to do that.
Well, let me go to this meeting.
Right.
Yeah, right. I got a Zoom call. Got a Zoom. Zooming me.
Exactly. So I think that, I had to keep it real with myself that I don't know. Actually, I got so many thoughts on this because, listen to what you said, Takia, about like how like it affects your relationship with the people that care about you most. I also think somewhere in there, the relationships that we have built with the people that love us most are not actually as helpful or conducive to us as we thought but we didn't realize it until, for me, I'll say I didn't realize until I got busy. So it's like, because I hadn't been busy. So you was the one getting married, and you was the one having the birthday parties, and you was the one, and I was showing up. Now all of a sudden, I have a thing I'm focused on. I need your support, or I can't show up in the same way. And because you got so used to my support, so I'm not saying it's wrong. You just got really hooked on who I was when I was the person that did not have a business, or wasn't married, or wasn't in a dedicated. You got hooked on that, and now I don't have that for you anymore. That's not my capacity for you.
Right.
Our relationship has to change.
Right.
I changed my dress size. I changed my shoes. I changed my makeup. I changed my hair. But my relationship with you has to stay the same.
We need to talk about that.
Well, look, hey, listen, next show. That's why we did a part 1 and a part 2 for this show.
Yes.
So this is Family Be Trippin' part 1, but we're nowhere near done
No.
with this conversation.
Not at all.
Because in the next conversation, we're going to also talk about the body, how the body gets involved, how you feel in your
I'm
body.
not gonna be able to make it. You're not
not
I won't
coming
be
to
here.
that
Y'all
one?
could do this without me.
Lies. The lies she tells. She gonna be right here.
Much as I just cried just now, you think I'm gonna do it again next week?
Yep.
Okay, I'll be here.
Yep.
I'll be here.
So this has been an amazing conversation, but like I said, we are nowhere near done. So you want to make sure you tune in next week at noon for Family Be Trippin' part 2. Right after this at 1 p.m. Join us. Come on over to our Instagram at The Shelly Bell Show. We're going to go live to give you even more. Just talk about and reflecting on this show. We would love to see you there. Also, bring us your questions. Bring us your thoughts. We want to engage with some of those questions and answer some of those, and maybe even bring them over to the next show. So come join us there at The Shelly Bell Show on IG. For now, we have to say goodbye. But look, next week, we're getting into part 2.
Yes.
This is Shelly Bell Show. I'm Shelly Omi Lade Bell, but you can call me Omi, with my co-host
Sherelle Duncan
and Takia Ross.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.
They talking business.
The Shelly
They talking
Bell Show.
business.
The Shelly
It's raw
Bell
and
Show.
real. Come on and get
The
there.
Shelly Bell.
A beautiful day in the Lottie Hood. Beautiful day in the Lottie Hood.